Hello students, how are you? Hope all of you are fine. I am also good. Today we are going to start Unit 2 of the chapter Nightingale and the Rose. Listen, here I have written some of the difficult words and I hope there are no more difficult words. First one is sewed, groove, lit upon, spray, nipped and fires, ocean cavern. Okay, so these are the difficult words. I think if you are getting it difficult, then you can take a screenshot and can write it down in the copy or in the book. Okay, so take a screenshot first. Let's start Unit 2. So in the Unit 1 we have read that the young student was having the wish to get a red rose because his lady love had put the condition that if he is able to give her a red rose, then only she would dance with him, otherwise she is not going to dance. So now let's start it. Suddenly she spread her brown wings. So who is she mentioned in this unit? She is referring to the nightingale. And here in the previous class I have told you that the nightingale was completely moved because of this boy. And the nightingale was feeling that this boy is a true lover. That's why at any cost the nightingale desired to help the boy. Suddenly she spread her brown wings for flight. Then suddenly the nightingale started to fly, soared into the air. Soared means to go high up in the sky, and opposite word is sink, to come down, and soared into the air. And suddenly the nightingale started to fly. In the meantime, she also started to fly higher in the sky. She passed through the grove. Grove means what? It is referring to an orchard, means where green vegetables are being grown, or fruit trees are there, or some flower trees are also there. So that is known as the orchard. Like a shadow. So why it is mentioned like a shadow? So when the nightingale was flying here, the shadow was also moving on the ground. That's why it is mentioned, means the shadow also can move in a flash of second. Likewise, the nightingale was also moving very fast. And like a shadow she sailed across the garden. Sail means what? Floating. And here it means the nightingale was not floating, there was no water. The nightingale was flying, and the nightingale was also flying on the garden. Listen, those who are interested to listen the Odia class, after the completion of this Unit 2, I will teach the same thing in Odia. Okay, you can forward and can watch it. In the center of the lawn was standing a beautiful rose tree. And where was the rose tree? In the center of the lawn there was a very nice rose tree. And when she saw it, she flew over to it and lit upon a spray. Lit upon means to settle on, to settle. Whenever I am speaking you can write down the difficult word meanings. A spray, spray means a branch of a tree. So here the nightingale flew through the garden and finally she settled on the branch of a rose plant which was in the middle of the lawn, and it was a very beautiful plant. Give me a red rose, she cried. And what was her question? What did the nightingale ask to the rose plant? Just give me a red rose. And when? Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. So in the meantime, the nightingale didn't wish to take the red rose free of cost. The nightingale wanted to sing the most beautiful song to the rose tree. But the tree shook its head. But the tree shook, past tense of shook. Okay, the tree shook its head and denied. My roses are white, it answered. And what was the answer of the rose plant? That my roses are completely white as the foam of the sea. Once again simile is also used here. And the white rose is being compared to the foam of the sea, and whiter than the snow upon the mountain. At the same time, the rose tree has compared its flower with the foam of the sea as well as the snow that falls on the mountain top. Okay. But go to my brother who grows beneath the student's window. But in the meantime, this rose tree, the white rose tree, is not selfish. The white rose tree just gave a way to the nightingale how to get a red rose, and the rose tree said, you just go to my brother who is beneath the student's window. And where was that rose tree? It was just beneath the student's window. and perhaps he will give you what you want. And it is possible. It means chances are there that that rose plant might be able to help you. Means indirectly this white rose tree is speaking to the nightingale that my brother is able to give you, he could give you a red rose. So the nightingale flew over to the rose tree that was growing beneath the student's window. So the nightingale went to the rose tree which was beneath the student's window. Give me a red rose, she cried. Here cried means not crying, cried means to speak little bit loudly. And I will sing you my sweetest song. And what is the nightingale speaking to the rose tree? Give me a red rose, I will sing you my sweetest song. But the tree shook its head. But here also the tree denied. My roses are red, it answered. But in the meantime, the rose tree is answering, yes, you are right. Of course, my roses are red. As red as the feet of the dove. And it is red, just like the feet of a dove. And redder than the great fans of coral that wave and wave in the ocean cavern. Ocean cavern means deep ocean. And here it is mentioned wave and wave means float. Okay. In the meantime, this rose tree is comparing its roses with the feet of a dove. At the same time, it is also comparing the red roses with the red coral which is there in the deep sea. But the winter has chilled my veins and the frost has nibbled my buds. But in the meantime, the tree is expressing its sorrow by speaking that my roses are red, but because of this winter, my veins are completely chilled. In the meantime, the frost has destroyed my buds, and the storm has broken my branches, and I shall have no roses at all this year. And because of the stormy weather, my branches are also being damaged. It is being destroyed. That's why throughout the complete year, I am unable to provide a red rose. One red rose is all I want, cried the nightingale. Only one red rose. Is there no way by which I can get it? So the nightingale was so helpless, and it was having the sincere desire to help the boy, that the nightingale is speaking to the tree. Is not there any way by which I can get a red rose? Because I want only one, a single red rose is all I want. There is a way, answered the tree. And in the meantime, the tree is speaking, yeah, you are correct. There is one way by which you can get a red rose. But it is so terrible that I dare not to tell it to you. But it's so horrible, so terrible that I don't have the daring to speak it to you. It means definitely the way is quite dangerous. Tell it to me, said the nightingale. I am not afraid. But the nightingale had decided to help the boy at any cost. That's why the nightingale is speaking. No, you don't worry about it. Just speak me. I will not be afraid of all these things. If you want a red rose, said the tree. And finally the tree is speaking. If you need a red rose, you must build it out of music by moonlight. So who has to build the red rose? The nightingale has to build the red rose by her voice, by her song. In the meantime, in the moonlit night, the nightingale has to sing, and then only the red rose can be built. And stain it with your own heart's blood. But in the meantime, the nightingale has to make the rose red. Means stain means what we know. We know that stain means some dirty patches or dirty mark. But here stain means to make something colorful. Okay. And the nightingale had to make the rose colorful by its blood. Not the blood which is coming from hand or some other parts of the body, which is coming directly from its heart. And you must sing to me with your breast against a thorn. All night long you must sing to me. And when the nightingale has to sing, the nightingale had to sing throughout the night. And how? By pressing her breast, by pressing her chest against a thorn. And the thorn must pierce your heart. Pierce means what? To enter. Okay. And the thorn must enter into your heart, and your lifeblood must flow into my veins. And the blood of your heart, which is known as the lifeblood, that should flow into my vein, and your lifeblood will be mine. Then only the rose will be a red rose. Death is a great price to pay for a red rose, cried the nightingale. Then the nightingale speaking, what? I have to die. It means death is a great price to pay for a simple red rose. And life is very dear to all. Everyone wish to live. No one is having the desire to die. Even when the people who want to go to heaven, they also don't want to die. Love is better than life. And then the nightingale is speaking, but still, love is far better than the life. And what is the heart of a bird compared to the heart of a man? Then once again the nightingale is speaking, but what is the value of a bird's heart in comparison to the heart of a human being? So she spread her brown wings for flight. Flight means once again the nightingale started flying. She just spread her wings and soared into the air, and once again the nightingale started flying in the air, means started flying high in the air. She swept, past participle of sweep, over the garden, and the nightingale started to move in the garden like a shadow. Just like a shadow, the nightingale started to move in the garden, and like a shadow she sailed into her trees, and just like a shadow she went to her trees, means she was flying restlessly, because in the brain of the nightingale there was the thing that she had to give up her life in order to make the boy happy. It means the nightingale was thinking that her life is completely valueless, but the nightingale is also speaking, who is singing the song of love always, thinking that her life is less valuable than the happiness of the boy. Okay, now let's start in Odia. Suddenly she spread means what? Bistara kariba. Okay, her wings for flight. Suddenly nightingale kon kala taro dena meli udibare lagila and soared into the air. Au soar mane uccho. Okay, sink hochi taro opposite word. Soared into the air. Akasare uchchoru uchchoku se udi bulila. She passed through the grove. Grove means orchard, जोठी की माने गोटे बगीचा जोठी की फल गछ किबा फूल गछ किछि वेजिटेबल्स लागि थिबो, बुझी परलो? तो सेमती जगह रे गोटे शेडो बेले काई को हेची, जेतु नाइटिंगेल जेतले आकाश रे उडुथबो तार शेडो भी पडुथबो ना नहीं. सो जस्ट लाइक ए शेडो मीन्स शेडो आउरी गोटे रीजन होची ए शेडो कैन पास क्विकली. Likewise, the nightingale was moving quickly. Nightingale बहुत जोरे उड़ी बुलीथिला कोठी से गार्डन रे. And like a shadow she sailed across the garden. और से shadow भली छाई भलिया आमे कहूने कि तू छाई भली मो पछरे लागिछु. ओके, मीन चिपकली परी. सो likewise से नाइटिंगेल मध्ये कोन करथला छाई भली से गार्डन रे चारिआडे घुरी बुलुथला ओनली टू गेट ए रेड रोज. केवल गोटे नाली गोलाप खोजी. In the center of the lawn was standing a beautiful red rose tree. ଆଉ ସେ ଗାର୍ଡେନ ସେ ଲନ୍ର ମଝିରେ ଠିକ୍ ମଝିରେ ଗୋଟେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଗୋଲାପ ଗଛଟେ ଥିଲା. And when she saw it, she flew over to it and lit upon a spray. Lit upon means ବସିବା, spray ମାନେ branch ଗୋଟେ ଡାଳ. ଯେତେବେଳେ ନାଇଟିଙ୍ଗେଲଟି ଦେଖିଲା ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଲାପ ଗଛ ଅଛି, ସେ କ'ଣ କଲା, ସେ ଗଛ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇକି ସେ ଗଛ ଉପରେ ଗଛର ଗୋଟେ ଡାଳରେ ବସିଲା. Give me a red rose, she cried. ଏବଂ ସେ ଗଛକୁ କ'ଣ କଲା, ମୋତେ ଗୋଟିଏ ନାଲି ରଙ୍ଗର ଗୋଲାପ ଦିଅ. And I will sing you my sweetest song. ଆଉ ମୁଁ ମୋର ସବୁଠୁ ମଧୁର ଗୀତ ମାନେ ସବୁଠୁ ସୁଇଟ୍ ସଙ୍ଗ, ଓକେ, ସୁମଧୁର ଗୀତ ଗାଇକି ତୁମକୁ ଶୁଣେଇବି. But the tree shook its head. କିନ୍ତୁ ଗଛ କ'ଣ କଲା, ମୁଣ୍ଡ ହଲେଇ ମନା କରିଦେଲା. My roses are white, it answered. As white as the foam of the sea and whiter than the snow upon the mountain. ଆଉ ସେ ଗୋଲାପ ଗଛଟି କ'ଣ କହୁଛି, ନାଲି ଗୋଲାପ ନାହିଁ, ଗୋଲାପ ଗଛଟି କହୁଛି ମୋର ଗୋଲାପର ରଙ୍ଗ ହେଉଛି ଧଳା. କେତେ ଧଳା ନା ସମୁଦ୍ରରେ ଯେଉଁ ଲହରୀ ଆସିଲେ ଯେଉଁ ଫେଣ ଆସେ ତା ଭଳିଆ ଧଳା. ଶୀତ ଦିନେ ପାହାଡ଼ ଉପରେ ଯେଉଁ ବରଫ ପଡ଼ିବ ତା ଭଳିଆ ହେଉଛି ମୋ ଗୋଲାପର ରଙ୍ଗ ଧଳା. ମୋ ପାଖରେ ନାଲି ଗୋଲାପ ନାହିଁ, କାହିଁକି ନା ସେ ଗଛ ହେଉଛି ଧଳା ଗୋଲାପର ଗଛ. But go to my brother who grows beneath the student's window and perhaps he will give you what you want. କିନ୍ତୁ ତମେ ସେ ଯେଉଁ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟର ଝରକା ତଳେ ଯେଉଁ ଗୋଲାପ ଗଛ ଅଛି ତା ପାଖକୁ ଯାଅ, ସିଏ ହୁଏତ ତୁମକୁ କିଛି ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିପାରିବେ. ଏଠି କିଏ କହୁଛି, ଧଳା ଗୋଲାପ ଗଛଟି ନାଇଟିଙ୍ଗେଲକୁ କହୁଛି ଯେ ତୁମେ ସେ ମୋର ଭାଇ, ତା ପାଖକୁ ତୁମେ ଯାଅ, ସିଏ ହୁଏତ ତୁମକୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିପାରିବ. So the nightingale flew over to the rose tree that was growing beneath the student's window. ତେଣୁ ସେ ନାଇଟିଙ୍ଗେଲ କ'ଣ କଲା, से गोलाप गछ पाखु गला जो गोलाप गछ कि से स्टूडेंट झरका तले उठी माने से झरका तले थिला से गोलाप गछ पाखु को नाइटिंगेल टे उड़ी उड़ी गला गिव मी रेड रोज से क्राइड एंड आई विल सिंग यू माय स्वीटेस्ट सॉन्ग आ सेठी जे कोन कहूची मते गोटे नाली रंगर गोलाप दियो मु मोर सबुठु सुमधुर गीत गाई तुमको सुनेबी बट द ट्री shook its head किंतु एठी मध्य ए जगार मध्य सेकेंड टाइम पाई से गछ कहूची जे नाई मु देई परिबी नाही माय रोजेस आर रेड इट आंसर ता सहित से कोन कहूची हां मो गोलाप रो रंग होची नाली एज रेड एज द फीट ऑफ द डव आ केते नाली डव रो पाद जेमती नाली सेमिति होची मोर गोलाप रो रंग नाली and redder than the great fans of coral that wave and waven in the ocean cavern समुद्र मझिरे जो आम कहूचे रेड कोरल रक्त प्रबाल ओके रक्त प्रबाल समुद्र गर्भरे जो अच्छी सेटा जमती नाली मो गोलाप रंग नाली किंतु मु तुमको गोलाप फूल दे परिबिनी अरे भाई एक ही कथा जदि तो गछर गोलाप रंग नाली ताहले नाइटिंगेल को गोटे दे देबा कथा किंतु से गछ मना करूची सो व्हाट इज द रीजन बट द विंटर हैज चिल्ड माय वेन्स देन गोलाप गछटी रीजन कहूँ जे शीतरे तार गछर शिरा प्रशिरा सब ठंडा हो जाइछि एंड द फ्रॉस्ट हैज स्निपल माय बर्ड्स एंड कुहुड़ी पड़िकी तार सबुजाक कढ़ सब नष्ट हो जाइछि एंड द स्टॉर्म हैज ब्रोकन माय ब्रांचेस आ झड़ आसी कौन होइछि ता गछर डाल सब भांगी देइछि सेथिपाई आई शैल हैव नो रोजेस एट ऑल दिस ईयर ए वर्ष कंप्लीटली गछरे गोटे भी गोलाप फूल नाली रंगर गोलाप फूल फुटिबो नाही किए कहूची नाली रंगर गोलाप गछटी नाइटिंगेल को कहूची बुझी पारलो वन रेड रोज इज ऑल आई वांट एठी नाइटिंगेल कौन कहूची मु चाहूची जे केवल गोटे ही नाली गोलाप मते 10-15टा नाली गोलाप दरकार नहीं मते गोटे नाली गोलाप दरकार only one red rose is there no way by which I can get it and आगुर मु कहिछि दैट नाइटिंगेल हैड डिसाइडेड नाइटिंगेल पूरा डिसाइड करथिला जे से बॉय को से छात्रटी को साहाय्य करिवो बिकॉज नाइटिंगेल भाबुछि जे ही इज अ ट्रू लवर से गोटे सच्चा प्रेमी सेते से पूरा हेल्प करिया को रेडी सो नाइटिंगेल से गछ पचारछि गोटे गोलाप फूल पाइबार किछि उपाय नाही केमती मु कोन कले पाइ परबिनी समटाइम्स वी आर आल्सो स्पीकिंग लाइक दिस देयर इज अ वे आंसर द ट्री आ गछ कहूछि हां हां गोटे उपाय अछि बट इट इज सो टेरिबल दैट आई डेयर नॉट टेल इट टू यू किंतु एटा एते भयंकर जे तुमको कहबाको मते साहस होनी के कहूछि से गोलाप गछ कहूछि देखो एठी गोलाप गछ नाइटिंगेल को बाध्य करूनी जे हां तू एटा करे मु गोलाप फूल देबी द नाइटिंगेल निज इच्छा रे सब करिया पे राजी काहे कि ना नाइटिंगेल सोल मोटिव होछि से छात्रटी को साहाय्य करिवो गोटे नाली गोलापटे देकी टेल इट टू मी सेड द नाइटिंगेल आई एम नॉट अफ्रेड और नाइटिंगेल कौन कहूँ मते कह मु जम्मार डरबिनी मु बिल्कुल भी भय करबिनी इफ यू वांट ए रेड रोज सेड द ट्री यू मस्ट बिल्ड इट आउट ऑफ म्यूजिक बाय मूनलाइट सो व्हाट इज द ट्री स्पीकिंग तुमको जदि गोटे नाली रंगर गोलाप फूल दरकार तुमे यहाकू जह्नर किरण रे तुम कवितारे तुम गीतरे तैयारी करिवो सो ये गोलाप फूल किए तैयारी करिवो नाइटिंगेल ता गीतरे गोटे गोलाप फूल तैयारी करिवो सेइटा पुणी जह्न आलुओ पड़िबा समय रे एंड स्टेन इट स्टेन माने आमे जानिचे जे किछि डार्क पैचेस एमती किंतु एठी स्टेन माने डार्क पैच नो स्टेन माने कलर करिवा रंग करिवा स्टेन इट विथ योर ओन हार्ट्स ब्लड सो एठी गोलाप गछरी कोन कहूची जदि तुमको गोलाप फूल दरकार रात्रि रो जह्न आलुओ रे तम गीतरे तमे गोटे गोलाप फूल सृष्टि करिवो से गोलाप फूल को तम हृदय माने हार्ट दैट हेल्प्स इन ब्रीदिंग ओके तुमर हार्ट रो रक्त रे तमे ताको कलर करिवो ताको रंग करिवो यू मस्ट सिंग टू मी विथ योर ब्रेस्ट अगेंस्ट ए थोर्न आउ तुमर छाती रे गोटे कंटा जेमती लागी रहइबो माने मो गछ डाल रे बसिबो गोटे कंटा तुम छाती रे एमती लागिकी रहइबो राति सारा तुम छाती रे से कंटाटी लागी थिबो तमे मो पई गीत बोलिबो ऑल नाइट लॉन्ग यू मस्ट सिंग टू मी आ केमती राति सारा तमे गीत बोलिबो एंड द थोर्न मस्ट पियर्स योर हार्ट आउ से जो कंटा तुम छाती रे बाजी थिबो से कंटा तुमर हार्ट तुम हृदय को भी पास करिवो माने हृदय को भी होल करिवो सेठी ओके माने तमर हृदय रे छिद्र करी से कंटाटी तुम हृदय भितर को जमी पशिब बुझिपार दिस इज द कंडीशन must pass your heart and your life blood must flow into my veins and become mine and आसे तो कौन कहूँ नाइटिंगेल को से गछटी कौन कहूँ तुम राति सारा तुम छाती रे गोटे कंटाटे एमती थी माने गछरे लगी से कंटा से एमती कंटा देकी कंटा उपरे ता छाती रखिकी गीत बोलिबो से छाती रे जो कंटा पूरा भितर को जाइकी नाइटिंगेल हृदय भितर कंटाटी पशिबो गछरे लगी ओके सो नाइटिंगेल हृदय भितर जो कंटाटी पशिबो नाइटिंगेल हृदय ता हार्ट रो जो ब्लड अच्छी से कंटा देकी फ्लो होइकी गछर चारिआड़ को जीवो बुझिपारछ आउ हृदय ब्लड मीन्स हार्ट्स ब्लड इज नोन एज द लाइफ ब्लड बिकॉज हार्ट जदि कणा होगी जदि होल होगी ब्लड बाहर पड़ो ह्यूमन बीइंग हुए बंचबनी से लाइफ ब्लड कहुई सो ये गच कहूँ जे तुमर लाइफ ब्लड मोर वेन रे मो शिरा प्रशिरा रे जमती खेलीज आउ सेटा मोर हो आ तुमर होइकी रहबनी एंड योर लाइफ ब्लड मस्ट फ्लो इनटू माय वेन्स एंड बिकम माइन आ तुमर हृदय रक्त मो देहरे जमती प्रभावित हम डेथ इज ए ग्रेट प्राइस टू पे फॉर ए रेड रोज देन द नाइटिंगेल इज थिंकिंग फॉर ए रेड रोज आई हैव टू गिव माय लाइफ आई हैव टू सैक्रिफाइस माय लाइफ गोटे गोलाप फूल पर निजे मृत्युवरण करवा निज जीवन देदेवा बहुत बड़ कथा एंड लाइफ इज वेरी डियर टू ऑल समस्ते निज निज लाइफ को बहुत भल पाती हाँ ना नहीं तुम भर किए निज लाइफ को भल पाओ एवरीवन फर्स्ट लाइफ रूल्स होची फर्स्ट लव योर सेल्फ प्रथमे निजे निजको भल पाइबा सीख देन ओनली यू कैन डू समथिंग इन योर लाइफ ओके सो ये नाइटिंगेल कहूँ जे जीवन समस्तंकर प्रिय इट लव इज बेटर देन लाइफ स्टिल सबकि परे मध्य जीवन ठू भल पाइबा आहुरी मूल्यवान लव इज मोर वैल्यूएबल देन लाइफ And what is the heart of a bird compared to the heart of a man? And again the Nightingale is speaking. गोटे चढ़ेर हार्ट सहित गोटे मनीषर हार्ट को कौन कंपेयर कर बिकॉज ह्यूमन लाइफ इज प्रीशियस दिस इज बीइंग स्पोकन बाय द नाइटिंगेल जदि बा कहनी ह्यूमन लाइफ इज प्रीशियस किंतु से कंपेयर कर दूची जे गोटे मनुष्यर हृदय सहित जदि आम गोटे पक्षीर हृदय को कंपेयर करवा से किसी कंपेरिजन मूल्य नहीं कहीं गोटे मनुष्यर हृदय मूल्य बहुत अधिक गोटे पक्षीर गोटे बर्डर हृदय को कंपेयर कले सो शी स्प्रेड हर ब्राउन विंग्स फॉर फ्लाइट एंड वंस अगेन द नाइटिंगेल स्टार्टेड फ्लाइंग एंड सोड इनटू द एयर आउ आकाशरे उच्चरे उड़ी बुलिला से स्वेप्ट होची पास्ट पार्टिसिपल ऑफ स्वेप्ट ओवर द गार्डन लाइक ए शेडो छाई भली गार्डन रे से बगीचा रे घूरी बुलिला एंड लाइक ए शेडो से सेल इनटू हर ट्री एंड छाई भली से कौन कला निज गछर जो गछरे से रोहुतला ओक ट्री रे से ओक ट्री पाखकू ता निजर नेस्ट पाखकू आसिला बुझी पारलो सो दिस यूनिट रे हमें कौन पढ़ले इट वाज ऑल अबाउट द कन्वर्सेशन इन बिटवीन द नाइटिंगेल एंड टू रोज प्लांट वन इज द व्हाइट रोज प्लांट and the one is the red rose plant and the red rose plant is also agree to give a red rose but the condition is से नाइटिंगेल राति सारा बसी गीत बोलिबो तार हार्ट रो ब्लड फ्लो हेकी से जो गोलाप फूल तार गीत रे चंद्र रो आलुओ पड़ुथबो से गीत बोलिकी फूल तैयारी करिवो से फूल को ता हृदय रो ब्लड रे रक्त रे कलर करिवो देन ओनली शी कैन गेट ए रेड रोज अंडरस्टूड विथ दिस योर यूनिट 2 is over all of you have a nice time